Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jenny. Today's video is going to be a collective haul. I do have quite a few products here, mostly from Wet n Wild, but I also have e.l.f. and Makeup Geek. Before we start the haul, I want to give a shout out to fellow YouTuber Mekayla. Mekayla is absolutely amazing at makeup. Her cut creases are to die for. I am so jealous of her cut creases. We actually went to the same high school. She's quite a few years younger than me. I actually dated her friend's brother in junior high. That's an unrelated topic. If you have not checked her videos out, you definitely need to. The quality of her videos are great. She's very funny. She does goofy things in the middle of her videos. I love her editing. It's very funny. Her videos are very entertaining and I love to watch them, and she's an excellent makeup artist, so you definitely need to check her out. I'll have her linked up in the eye as well as down in the description box. I'll have her link pinned in my comments section as well, so definitely make sure that you check her out because Mekayla's awesome. So the first products I want to talk about are from Wet n Wild. Almost all of them are from one collection, but two of them are not, so I am going to talk about them first. And this first one is the Wet n Wild makeup sponge that just came out. It is dirty, and this is the full size. It does grow to be the size that is wet. I just used it for my concealer today. This is an amazing sponge, and it's only $3.99. I just bought it at Walmart probably a week ago. A couple days ago was the first time I used it and I was blown away. I do believe this is the closest thing I found to the Beauty Blender. The texture is about the same and it is very, very reminiscent of my Eco Tool sponge. But I think this is giving it a run for its money because it's just as good and it is a couple bucks cheaper. This is an excellent sponge. I love the tip. It gets really, really close into the tear duct area. Super, super awesome sponge. The quality is amazing. Definitely going to pick this one up again. Next product is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Coconut 3-in-1 Priming Water. It says Prime, Set, and Refresh. I used it as a setting spray today. And it looks nice on the skin, and it did an okay job setting my makeup, but I don't know that I'm in love with the smell. It's an okay scent. It does smell coconutty, but it's very like artificial. It's not like a refreshing kind of coconut like I was expecting it to be. It's kind of like a heavier, perfumey kind of coconut. So the product itself is nice, but I think I might try the cucumber one. I think I might enjoy that one more. So these next products I'm not going to go into a lot of depth about because I did just do an unboxing video of them, and they are the Wet n Wild Rebel Rose products. I will link that video up here for you in case you're interested in checking them out. I did swatches and like first impression type things with all of these products. I have tried out 90% of these in depth, so I will go ahead and give you my thoughts on them, but I'm not going to swatch or anything like that. And I do have a lot of them on my face, actually. The first product is the cream blush. I do not like this at all. It's very oily to the touch. It's a really, really strange texture, and it gives me absolute clown cheeks. Absolutely horrible, bright pink cheeks. It doesn't matter how little, how much you use. It's just not a great blush. Not blown away by this. It's very, very sad. Next are these two brushes. I'm going to talk about the eye brush first. I'm not crazy about this. The brush itself is absolutely beautiful. Like, it blends nice. It's super soft, but the like fake petally things right here, it's like I can't push into my eye like I normally would with my other brushes because those things like dig into my like lash line or up here into my eye. I'm not crazy about this one in particular. Kind of the same with this one. This is an excellent powder brush. It's technically a blush brush, but the size of it's not great for my cheeks. I've been using it as an all over face brush and I really have been liking it for that, but the same thing with this. It's like it just kind of gets in the way when I'm trying to buff powder into my skin. So as a whole, the brush bristles themselves are phenomenal, and if they came up with a line that was just as soft and as lovely as these, I would buy an entire set of brushes. But the black, like, petally type things that come off the side to make it look like a rose, not crazy about those, and they kind of just get in the way. Next are these lip products. The two like glossy kind of lips, I do have one of them on. I have this one, Petal Poison, on. It is the pinkier one. They also have like a more grayy purple. I really like the formula of these. I also really enjoy the liquid lipsticks as well. I really, really love this purple. This purple is absolutely awesome. The pigmentation on both of these are great. I love the formulas of both of these, so I knew I was going to like these. I was a bit iffy about these two because how dark they are. I have had some darker ones in the past that were really streaky. This one's not streaky, but I do have to kind of go over it. It's not as opaque as I would think it should be, and I honestly have not tried this one on yet, so I'm not even going to say whether or not it's good because I haven't tried it. I have swatched it and it's beautiful though. But as far as this one goes, this one's gorgeous and it wears really, really nicely, as do these. These are absolutely beautiful. Next is this Jelly Balm. Absolutely hate this as well. The formula of it's actually really nice. It feels really, really hydrating on the lips. It's the color that it turns into, which is horrible. Just like that blush, it turns into a hot, hot pink that stains your lips and it looks horrifying. It's absolutely awful. I hate it. This is a good product. The product itself is great. The shade is absolutely atrocious. If they came out with this in like some neutral, like actual shades that aren't like the color changing stuff, I probably would pick one up because I did like the formula. It felt very silky and hydrating on the lips, but the shade's absolutely hideous. Next is the lip scrub. Haven't tried it either, but it was in here, so I wanted to show it to you. I've used one of these before from another collection that they had, and it's fine. It's a good lip scrub. Not gonna complain about it. I don't know. Haven't tried this one. Then we have the 3 shadow palettes. There's the more neutral one, the really bold one, the green in it, and then the one I am wearing today is this one. And I have this in the crease, this in the outer V in crease, and then this in the very, very outer V. And then I have this all over the inner half of the eye. And I did take the black from this one to use as a liner, and I kind of smudged it on the outer portion. So far the shadows are pretty good quality. I do think the mattes are better than the shimmers, which I thought was going to happen because the new Tin Pan palettes that they just came out with, I wasn't super crazy about those shimmers. I thought that they were just kind of subpar, but the mattes were awesome in those. And so that's kind of how I feel about these. I do believe that these shimmers are better than the ones from the Tin Pan palettes. As a whole, they're really nice, so if the colors draw you in, I'd suggest you pick the one up. The next 3 are the skincare products. I'm going to start off with the 2 that I actually enjoy using and then end with the one that I don't. And the first one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Rose Priming Serum. I actually think this is a really, really awesome primer. The other night I had to stay late for work. We had an event where I was up kind of moving, kind of fast paced, and I got a little sweaty, but I came home and my makeup on my face still looked amazing. And this was the only new thing that I had been using, so I'm assuming that that's the reason. And it feels amazing on the skin. It just like blurs everything out, even though it's not really a blurring primer. And I love the way that the makeup sits on top of it. I think it looks like everything's blended seamlessly, and I'm really, really excited to continue using this, and I hope that they keep this product around. Next is the Rose Toner. Love using this morning and night. It smells like a nice refreshing rose scent. It's not overpowering. It's a nice toner because it does have some hydrating properties in it, and it doesn't suck the life out of my skin like some other toners do. So I've really, really been enjoying this, and I think the packaging on this is absolutely beautiful. And the last product is one that I just really didn't like, and it is the Rose Multi-Use Oil. This is the strongest smelling rose scent of this entire collection. I absolutely hate it. Just the scent alone makes me kind of nauseous because it lingers on your face too, so you can constantly be smelling it the entire time it's on your face. And it was like a weird thin consistency. I use facial oils at night. I use the Burt's Bees Complete Nourishing Facial Oil mixed with the ordinary rosehip oil. That's what I use at night to finish my skincare routine, and I really like the way that that feels on my skin. It feels like it's locking in the moisturizer underneath. This just felt like it was sitting on top of my skin, and it just made my skin oily. Like, it just felt like there was oil on my face instead of mixing in with the rest of my skincare and feeling hydrating. And like, you know what I mean? It just felt like I was rubbing bacon grease on my face or something. I don't know. It was really weird, and I don't like the scent at all. It makes me nauseous. So was not a fan of this, unfortunately, because it's pretty, and I love the little rose petals inside too. That's a really pretty touch, but as a whole, this product's just not for me. So next I'm going to talk about e.l.f., and this first one is a makeup sponge. I cannot remember what the name is. I will have it listed down below. I like this sponge. It's a pretty good sponge. It's super soft, super squishy. It's a good quality sponge, but I felt like it took forever to blend my concealer out with it. I don't know if it's because it's so soft, I'm not really sure, but I felt like it took me longer to use than like the Wet n Wild or my Eco Tools or anything like that. I have actually been enjoying pressing powder into the skin, using it dry, dipping it into my loose powder, and just dabbing it onto the skin. I really like this sponge for that. Overall, this is a decent little sponge, and if you are in the market for a new sponge and you're wanting to try something new, I definitely give this one a shot because it is a nice squishy little sponge. Next is the e.l.f. I don't remember what this was called. It was like the metallic something highlighter. This is in the shade White Gold. Has that really pretty imprint on it. It is the highlight that I have on today. And it's sad because this swatches so much better than it applies. That is absolutely beautiful. But when you go to pick it up with a brush and go to apply it, I had to go in like 5 times to get it to look like this. It starts out super, super sheer. I just am not really blown away by this product. It's not horrible, but it's not fantastic. I don't know that I'd necessarily recommend it. Next is the blush that I have on today, and it is the blush with like with the primer built into it, and it is in the shade Always Rosy. I think that it looks really, really natural and pretty. It can tend to look heavy if I go in with too much. Like I basically just have to take my brush and just like whoop right into it, and that's it. Because any more than that and it becomes clown cheeks real quick. As a whole, this is an absolutely stunning blush shade. It looks beautiful on my skin tone, and I've really been enjoying it. I just have to use a light hand. The last e.l.f. product is probably one of my favorites I've tried in a long time, and it is the Hello Hydration Face Cream with Hyaluronic Acid and Peptide Complex. I really, really like this. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is part of the reason that my skin's been looking excellent lately. I have added quite a few things to my skincare routine. I did do a skincare routine video in the past. If you would like for me to do an updated one, let me know in the comments, but I prefer to use it at night because it is on the heavier side. This makes my skin feel so hydrated and so soft and silky and plump and pretty. I just feel so good after I put this on my skin. It's like 16 bucks, which is a lot cheaper than my Philosophy Renewed Hope in a Jar, which I don't think I'm going to be using anymore because this is amazing and I absolutely love it. I haven't even used my Renewed Hope in a Jar since I bought this, and that's been like 2 or 3 weeks. And I really like the way that my skin is looking. I do have foundation and everything on, but my skin underneath is actually in really, really, really good shape. Like I used to have the bumps right here, they're almost gone. It's just my skin looks so much better, and I'm assuming that this has a lot to do with it. I'm going to give it full credit because everything else that I've been using I love, and I think it's doing great things for my skin, but I feel like it's been better since I started using this. So this is an absolutely awesome product. I'm so excited that I have it. So these next 4 products are from Makeup Geek, and the first one is their complexion sponge. This was around $13, and I know I would never buy it again. It's not a horrible sponge, but it's actually really, really kind of like hard. But once you put water in it, it gets a little softer, and it is nice because it has that point to get under the eyes, and it's a decent sponge. It's not bad. I have no real complaints other than it's a little hard, but it does a good job blending, and I like it. But it being $13 and that Wet n Wild one being $3.99, I can't justify a price for a sponge like that. I don't know why I picked it up, but I was like, ooh, look, a sponge, add to cart. And then I went to Walmart, I was like, ooh, look, sponges, add to cart. So I have a sponge addiction, apparently. It's definitely not a bad sponge, but I can't see myself paying $13 for it again when Wet n Wild's only $3.99, and it's better than this one, to be perfectly honest. Sorry, Makeup Geek. Next are the lashes and the style Graceful. I don't know how I feel about these yet. I did wear these lashes in a recent video. It was my Juvia's Place Saharan palette review. I'll link it up here for you in case you want to check that video out, see how these lashes look in action. The quality of the lashes are really nice. I did have some issues though. Like the lashes themselves are pretty and they do have a nice quality to them, but I had some issues with the lash band on the inner portion. Like I always have issues on the very tip of the corner, like not gluing down right, but this like would not. It just kept like the whole front half of the lash was not sticking correctly. So I'm gonna have to play around with them some more. So I'm still on the fence about these. And the next 2 are products that I love. And they are the Peach Bellini and Champagne Rosé eyeshadow palettes. These palettes are awesome. I love the Makeup Geek eyeshadow formula. It's probably my favorite eyeshadow formula of all time. I know lots of people were really, really upset when these palettes came out because they were so bland and boring, which of course they are very typical neutral looking shadows, especially this one, which is the Peach Bellini. It is the typical kind of like warm orangey kind of eyeshadows that have been coming out, and as well as the Champagne Rosé is just those natural browns and rosy tones. The quality of these are absolutely phenomenal though. The mattes are super soft, the shimmers are gorgeous. I do have swatches of these on my Instagram. My Instagram is Astoldbyjenny, just like it is here. Definitely go check out those swatches. I think that they swatch beautifully. They apply beautifully. I love the way that these look. Every time I've worn these, I've gotten compliments. I've worn them together. I've worn them by themselves. I cannot say enough good things about these palettes. They are 20 bucks each. Definitely think they're worth 20 bucks each. I think the quality is amazing. Definitely think you should check these out. And I hope they come out with more that are in this little like compact kind of size with some different colors and different color schemes, because I think that that would be really fun. So that has been my collective haul. I hope that you enjoyed seeing the things that I've collected over the past few months, weeks, whatever. I actually do have another eyeshadow palette coming in the mail tomorrow, so be sure to check out my Instagram because it will be my next Swatch Sunday post. Like I mentioned in the beginning too, make sure you check out Mekayla's channel. She has awesome content. You're not going to regret checking her out. Once again, everything for her is linked up here, down there. Check it out. She's everywhere. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you would like to subscribe, please feel free. And I'll see you next time. Bye guys.